What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, man. So it seems AllStar JR, man, seems he's in custody, which is crazy because we seen the video of him fighting NBA Ben 10, an affiliate of NBA YoungBoy, who's one of the biggest rappers out right now. It seems NBA Ben 10 and another guy and other people was trying to rob this guy for his chain and stuff like that. But next thing you know, while they was fighting, AllStar JR ended up getting a gun and shooting these guys. You know what I mean? So Ben 10's in the hospital, and I think the other guy must have been released, but I think he did lost a finger from being shot at, which is crazy. So now it seems AllStar JR is in jail, and a lot of people thought, even myself, when I seen the video, I thought he's gonna get off. You know what I'm saying? This is self defense, but come to find out, if you seen some pictures like and hearing and reading the document stuff like that, that nah, he kind of came back and really stood over Ben 10 and really shot him. You know what I mean? Where he could have just left, run, and get up out of there. You know what I mean? So crazy situation, man. But I'm gonna react to this video, man, by Jake, man. He does pretty good YouTube. You know what I'm saying? When he make video stuff like that, man. His YouTube channel is called End of Sentence. Let's get into it, yo. So Jake channel, man, is called End of Sentence. Pretty dope YouTuber. I like watching most of his stuff when he do reaction and stuff. So let's get into it, yo.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on AllStar JR being picked up by the feds for the shooting that paralyzed NBA Ben 10. Quick pause, because this might actually help you out. If you've ever needed access to your money before payday, there's a banking app called Current that lets you get up to $750 as a paycheck advance once you qualify. So instead of waiting for payday, you can get access to your funds earlier when you actually need them. 17th, 2026, and 4, helping people like you stay more on top of their finances. April 17th, 2026, a special agent within the FBI would file a criminal complaint with the U.S. Attorney's Office within the Southern District of Texas. This complaint would allege Detroit's Defensive Player of the Year apparently made a mistake that will cost him the rest of the season, as he's federally accused of being a felon in possession of a firearm. This crime stems from the shooting that sat NBA Ben 10.
So this right here is NBA Ben 10. This is the guy that he shot, and this is right here's a still photo of him of AllStar JR in the restaurant shooting them guys. You know what I mean? Because I know that restaurant had video camera and stuff like that, but these are the still shots from that night, and it is crazy. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't really know, like, okay, did this guy had the gun or did NBA Ben 10 them had the gun? Because nobody really know who gun was it. You know, so it's kind of crazy. This guy's a felon, so he shouldn't have no gun. You know, but if one of them guys had a gun and it failed, and he picked it up and tried to defend himself, and that's when we all thought, then he got a right to do that. And I respect him for doing it. But just don't come back after you left and shooting again. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Down permanently, and even more details of how it all went down would be revealed. On April 8th, Houston police responded to a shooting in progress, and arriving on scene would locate John Doe number 1, who we all know to be Ben 10, on the ground inside the restaurant with a gunshot wound to his neck. Officers also observed a trail of blood leading from the main dining room to the elevator, and a large pool of blood in the elevator. The blood trail continued to the parking garage, where officers found John Doe number 2, who we know to be Dead End Ron. He'd suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his hands and legs. The victims were transported to a hospital while the shooter, AllStar JR, fled the scene before police even arrived. On-scene officers found a black Glock 43X, a holster, and 10 fired 9mm shell casings with blood on them. A Glock 43X comes with a factory 10-round magazine, meaning the weapon was fired until empty, so in other words, JR mag dumped them.
Damn,
Detectives would watch the surveillance video seeing JR at a table with a woman. The two walked out of frame to the elevators, then JR returned on the phone. A group would follow him, crowding around him, before the altercation broke out and a man attempted to drag JR to the elevator. Ben 10 can be seen attempting to take JR's chain alongside an unidentified suspect named John Doe number 3. John Doe number 3 would actually snatch the chain, running out of the restaurant as Dead End Ron was able to remove JR's watch from his wrist. JR was apparently beating on Ben 10 when they began jumping him and a gun falls to the ground. Well, JR fell next to the gun, took control of it, and Ben 10 was the first to be shot, immediately collapsing to the floor, initially on his side before rolling onto his back as everyone runs off on him. From the sounds of it, the first shot that hit Ben 10 paralyzed him. JR would follow the.
See, that's one thing a lot of people don't really know. A lot of people really like speculating, you know what I mean, saying that Ben 10 is paralyzed, is he not paralyzed? And to be honest with you, this happened like 2 weeks ago, and he is still in the hospital, and videos him talking and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I don't want to say he's paralyzed. I'm not sure.
Crowd firing after them. He then went back to Ben 10, standing over him before shooting him again.
So this right here is the still shots of AllStar JR shooting Ben 10, which is crazy.
He tried to keep firing, but the gun was out of ammo, so instead he pistol whipped him and spit on him. JR can be seen on video wiping off the gun before placing it behind a hostess stand and leaving the scene. Records would show Ben 10 has no sensation in his legs, meaning he's paralyzed from the waist down. Dead End Ron would also have to get a finger amputated, and the arteries in his legs were destroyed by bullets.
Wow.
A bystander was also shot in the ass, suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Following the shooting, JR would take to Instagram posting pictures of himself inside a famous Detroit jewelry store while wearing a shirt that says, "Unplug that bitch ass ninja." JR would caption the post stating, "Had to shoot to the D and get new ice, cause my man's Ben 10 took some of my stuff to the hospital with him." He'd even hashtag Junior closed the elevator on Ron, claiming J Prince Jr. left Ron for dead. He'd also hashtag OG3 left them after 3 can be seen being pulled away from the fight before gunshots rang out. Another post would state, "Thought he was mob ties till I shot his ass a few times." So JR was publicly stating that he shot Ben 10 and Dead End Ron. There was no shying away from it, he was flat out standing on it. He'd even state Ben actually got some of his jewelry, but again, this whole crime was captured on camera, and police at the scene were the first to report they were attempting to snatch his chains. Now, I DM'd JR before I covered this shooting initially, and after he posted this pic, I DM'd him again saying, "Can't tell you how to move, but fuck all that dissing. Get some big interviews, drop that music, run it up. Don't let this be your defining moment, use it to propel yourself where you want to be." As soon as I saw him dissing, it reminded me of BTB Savage, who killed a man in self-defense, flexed it, and then got gunned down for it. But instead of taking my advice or even responding, JR posted a dance challenge.
I had 2 teeth that had been just hanging on by a thread and just needed attention for a long time. Before, painful, irritated, aggravated, and stressed.
I've used the engineering principles to go into dentistry. And I think the most important thing is that they're getting the value that they're paying.
I just could see that the technology was up to par.
Afterwards, I
In honor of my nigga Ben 10, since he wanted to play, when I was getting me some food, we made a dance for him. Now the best way this dance can work, if a nigga shoot your dumb ass like 4 or 5 times before you fall. But if you don't got nobody to do that for you, just lay down smooth like this, right? Lay your bitch ass down.
So this dude ended up coming with a dance challenge after shooting Ben 10, which is wow. That is diabolical. That is diabolical, man. That is crazy.
When you point them toes up, right? You spread a little bit, then the nigga done spank you. Then you just jump a little bit. Do the BNT. 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 And there y'all go. Then you just jump a little bit. Do the BNT. 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 And there y'all go. BN10 challenge, man. Hey, the best BN10 challenge, man. Fuck it. $20,000 BN10 challenge. Best BN10 challenge, man, that go viral. Fuck with me. Let's get a what?
Now keep in mind at this time, Ben 10 had yet to speak out. He was listed in serious critical condition and no one knew if he was going to make it until he broke his silence.
You know, still early in the morning shit.
Man, you know we gotta get this shit in. These niggas sound stupid. Eating good around this bitch. Ain't nothing
Stupid duck ass. Fuck wrong with you.
With the news that Ben 10 was alive and well, JR would immediately fire back on the gram.
I wake up, all you hoe ass niggas tagging me, talking about, nigga, you see Ben back? You see Ben back? Well, if the bitch so back, tell him to do the BN10. I'll double it for him. Fuck he talking about, do that bitch, Ben, nigga, this your dance. Get in your groove, nigga, if you back.
Dead End Ron would even post to his story, showing a wrapped up hand after trading his finger for a watch.
So this is the other guy right here. Seeing he lost his finger, or trying to rob this guy. Like, that is wild, man. Like, and come to find out, a lot of people are saying that these guys didn't even know AllStar JR. You know what I mean? It's like they did that for what? You know?
Ben would then post to his story asking for someone to pay him for an interview so he could tell the real story of how he tried to rob JR. A picture of Ben in a neck brace would leave many wondering his actual condition, and JR would post DMs the two had actually been sending to each other. The DMs would show Ben attempted to call JR, who said, "I ain't trying to talk, send me that challenge, pussy." Ben would say, "Oh, you really a bitch," and JR would fire back saying, "Says the ninja in the hospital full of bullets." JR would get real disrespectful asking, "You wipe that spit off your face? How it feel that everyone left your bum bitch ass to die? You ain't cut, you a bum ass do-boy." JR would go even further saying, "What's crazy was I ain't even tell y'all I spit on the goofy after he got flamed. Thick ass neck brace. Did you get popped or getting a 10-car pile up? I ain't doing your interview, bro, it's over." Ben would take to his story saying, "You telling the story for the police. Y'all literally getting all the information from him. It's so much I want to say, but I'm real and they got real street ninjas."
That's one thing about these guys, man. They always go to the internet. Like they'll post everything on the internet, knowing police watching them. That's one thing I never really understand from these guys. You know what I mean? Like, just they want to be gangsters and stuff, do crazy stuff, but always go to the internet and they're wondering like how the police officers get all this information. Y'all put it on the internet, man.
Watching me, I refuse to let us down. Ben would post a video of him pouring up inside his hospital bed, but the comments would be flooded with trolls asking him to wiggle his toes. Another pic would show Ben 10 with 3, who was there when he
This is a long fucking video, boy.
of him pouring up inside his hospital bed, but the comments would be flooded with trolls asking him to wiggle his toes. Another pic would show Ben 10 with 3, who was there when he was shot, and a nurse would comment on the pic saying the blue thing under Ben is a lift pad, confirming that Ben was paralyzed and unable to move. This entire social media back and forth would be observed and documented by local, state, and federal authorities. But the one piece of information that wasn't confirmed is whose gun was fired. JR has claimed he took the gun from one of them. With the majority of NBA being felons, none of them are gonna claim it as they'd be charged with the weapon, and this is where shit gets complicated. AllStar JR is a convicted felon after being sentenced to 1.5 years for a home invasion in 2014. That conviction apparently bans him from the right to defend his own life. But the United States Courts of Appeals in the Sixth Circuit has detailed a rare exception as long as the defense demonstrates 5 requirements. The defendant must be able to demonstrate they reasonably feared death or serious injury from an imminent threat. They did not recklessly place themselves in the path of that threat. They had no reasonable alternative to possession. They reasonably believed possession would avert the threat, and they maintained possession only as long as necessary to avoid that threat. Those 5 requirements were used in USA versus Jafari Moore, a man who was staring down the barrel of a gun when he disarmed his attacker, shot him, and fled with the weapon. But because he took the weapon with him, possessing it longer than necessary, his federal appeal was denied. In this case, AllStar JR picked up a weapon that was allegedly dropped by his attackers, who already physically attacked and robbed him. He opened fire until the weapon was empty, rendering it useless, before placing it behind a hostess stand in the restaurant. If I was his lawyer, I'd argue my client lawfully defended himself, then placed the weapon out of sight so it couldn't be repossessed by any potential threats. He only possessed the weapon while under threat, used it to defend himself, and then left it at the scene where he found it. I actually think with the right lawyer, JR has a great chance of beating this case due to the fact he was outnumbered, surrounded, attacked by a group. He shot 2 of the 3 suspects who were on surveillance video robbing and attacking him, and he left the weapon at the scene. But we'll just have to wait and see how this case plays out.
Did you serve your country? Then you may have earned something most people don't know about. A VA home loan with 0 down payment and no mortgage insurance. Veterans First, Rocket Mortgage, and New American Funding are just a few of the top-rated lenders you can compare. Lower rates, capped closing costs, benefits you've earned. Compare the top VA lenders side by side and find your best rate. Scan the code on your screen or visit consumersadvocate.org.
Stop. 70% of ransomware attacks targeted small businesses. Do you think yours is safe? Most breaches don't start with brute force. They start with a click, phishing, weak passwords, unpatched systems. And once they're in, your data, your clients, your reputation, gone. IPM Computers helps local businesses.
Now I'll say this, I'm surprised the feds picked this up, and if he doesn't beat this, I'm disgusted by how the laws are in the US. Imagine being attacked for your jewelry that you worked hard for. The attackers attacking you drop a gun, meaning you were attacked by somebody that was armed with a weapon that could easily take your life. They drop the fucking gun, you pick it up and shoot 2 of the people who are attacking you, robbing you, had already robbed you for 1 chain, 1 watch. You shoot them. You leave the gun at the scene after you've already used all the ammo and you made sure no one else is gonna take the gun and reload it. You leave it at the scene, you leave, and the feds charge you with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Now you're facing up to 15 years in federal prison for defending your life. And again, I'm gonna break down because I had to actually look up and find that case in which it gave 5 reasons as to how you could beat this situation. So I want to go back to that and go through them, right? The defendant must be able to demonstrate they reasonably fear death or serious injury from an imminent threat. Why did I pick up the gun? Because the people attacking and robbing me dropped it. So now that it's on the floor, if they pick it up, they can shoot me. They've already attacked me. They've already started to rob me. So what would stop them from shooting me? I picked up that gun and fired to prevent me from getting shot. They did not recklessly place themselves in the path of that threat. I
mean, to be honest with you, that's like what a lot of people saying kind of happened. But then again, it's like everybody have different stories. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really was there besides AllStar JR and Ben 10. You know, Ben 10 ain't really saying too much, kind of going back and forth or whatever, but it's not really saying too much. AllStar JR is making videos, you know what I'm saying, of what happened, and also doing Ben 10 challenge of the shooting. You know what I mean? So it's kind of wild.
I was out eating with my girl. I'm on the phone. They came in, surrounded me. I didn't place myself there. I didn't antagonize anybody. I didn't say, come on and try me. I was in a public setting and I was attacked. They had no reasonable alternative to possession. What other choice did I have? The gun fell on the fucking floor. I'm on the floor. They're all standing around me beating the shit out of me. If I don't grab it, they grab it. If they grab it, I get shot. They reasonably believe possession would avert the threat. If I pick up this gun, I have an equalizer. It's just me. No one is fighting with me or for me. I am defending myself against multiple attackers. But when I picked this fucking gun up, every bullet in it just became my friend. Now I can avert this threat by sitting this motherfucker down for the rest of his life, blowing this motherfucker's finger off, and sending everybody running. They maintain possession only as long as necessary to avoid that threat. Once everybody was gone, he ain't moving anymore, so I know he ain't a problem. Take the gun and I put it away. I'm not gonna leave it next to Ben 10 running. They maintain possession only as long as necessary to avoid that threat. Once everybody was gone, he ain't moving anymore, so I know he ain't a problem. Take the gun and I put it away. I'm not gonna leave it next to Ben 10. I don't know if he's got another Glock 43X magazine. He's just gonna stuff it in there, start firing at me. No, I'm gonna take the gun. I'm gonna put it somewhere where no one else can fucking easily see it. It's out of sight, so I know I'm safe when I leave. Someone isn't gonna grab it, and that's it. I left the weapon at the scene. I did not possess the gun longer than needed to secure my life and the fact that I'm leaving here alive. If I was his lawyer, I would play this fucking video that I just made for y'all in court. And I would say, look, he lays out everything for us. Here's the defense. He lays it all out for us. JR don't even need to fucking say nothing. He can just play my video, because for anybody, that makes sense. It doesn't matter if you're a felon or not. When your life is under threat, you're not thinking, fuck, if I grab that, I might get hit with federal possession of a firearm. Homie, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make sure that I get back to my little girls. I'm gonna make sure that I leave this bitch alive. And whoever I gotta drop, it is what the fuck it is. Because you're fighting for your life. That's it. You're fighting for your fucking life. They're already beating you. They're already robbing you. I feel like, you know, I don't know how much money he just blew when he went to the jeweler, whatever, if he even bought anything. If he drops the right bag on the right lawyer, I see him beating this Fed case. I think he should take this one to fucking trial. But let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comments section. What do you think would go against him in this case? The only thing that I can think of, and the only argument people are going to bring up, is he shot Ben 10 and was standing over him. You know what I mean? But it's like Ben 10 was the biggest threat. The fuck you mean? He literally neutralized him to where he wasn't a threat anymore. As sad as that sounds, like as bad as that fucking sounds, he made sure he wasn't a threat. If JR was a cop and he fired up Ben 10 like that, he's beating that case. How many videos have we seen of police shooting a motherfucker and then shooting them when they hit the floor? They shoot you until you are not a threat. That's what he did. You might not like it, but that's what he did. And he's not even facing charges for that, because if he was gonna face charges for the shooting, the actual shooting, that would be state. And Texas is not a state where they're just gonna ban you for something like this. Texas is very much like Florida when it comes to stand your ground and self-defense. The feds, completely different fucking story. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
Would you be happy if you stayed where you are in life and job forever? If the answer is yes, then this video is not for you. But if you want to finally achieve the time, location, and financial freedom you know you deserve, then this new career may be the answer to all your prayers. Because what I'm about to reveal to you is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It pays extremely well, it's flexible with hours and location, you don't need a degree, and here's the craziest part, you can earn while you learn and still have enough time to juggle your current job, responsibilities, and even family. So here's what I'm talking about. I'm David Bragg, founder of Front End Simplified. We help people like you land tech jobs guaranteed without needing a degree or previous experience. The tech industry is already one of the biggest ones in the world, yet it's still expanding by 20% year over year. And global companies with the budget to pay high salaries are desperate right now to find talent. Why, you may ask? The reason is simple. With more and more apps being developed and everything going online, these companies need people to build and support their new features and softwares. And the problem? There's just not enough people out there to pull from. Probably because they think coding is too hard, they think it takes too long to learn, or maybe they don't even know this career exists. That's why this is such an amazing opportunity. Front-end development is the easiest part of coding to learn, yet the average salary is $113,571 per year, and that does not include bonuses. And because of this difference in supply and demand, it's also the easiest field in tech to break into. After all, you don't need previous experience or a college degree to get hired, and I know this because I went from making $17 an hour at a grocery store and being addicted to video games to landing a $160K front-end developer job at Canva without a degree. Or because I took action on 3 simple secrets that a beast coder shared with me. Once I took action on his advice, I was able to finally land a 6-figure job in tech that not only gave me the
Well, he wasn't a threat. If JR was a cop and he fired up Ben 10 like that, he's beating that case. How many videos have we seen of police shooting a motherfucker and then shooting them when they hit the floor? They shoot you until you are not a threat. That's what he did. You might not like it, but that's...
I mean, I definitely get what he's saying, but you can be like, it's the wild, wild west. You know what I mean? And that is true what he's saying, but you know, if you got a chance to walk away, man, walk away. You know what I mean? Like, just get up out of there.
That's what he did. And he's not even facing charges for that, because if he was gonna face charges for the shooting, the actual shooting, that would be state. And Texas is not a state where they're just gonna ban you for something like this. Texas is very much like Florida when it comes to stand your ground and self-defense. The feds, completely different fucking story. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section.
Listen, man, good video, Jay. Good video, man. I do appreciate his intake on a lot of stuff. He do be hanging around a lot of people, gang members and stuff like that. So he be knowing what he's talking about. You know what I mean? When we do these videos and stuff. So I do appreciate that. But listen, man, this whole thing is wild. You know what I mean? AllStar jail's in jail for shooting these guys. You know what I'm saying? And it first started out by these guys beating him up, you know? And he ended up shooting them, and now he's in jail. This is crazy. This is crazy. He was being self-defense. You know what I mean? Protecting himself, protecting his life. But since he's a felon, he shouldn't even have the gun. But it's like, what are you supposed to do? If you're a felon in that situation, getting beat up, you don't know what might would have happened. It's like 5 guys in this guy, beating this guy up, beating him up. You know what I mean? They probably could have beat him to death. So luckily he did pick that gun up. You know what I mean? It's like prison time or jail. I mean, it's prison time or dead. Which one is it? You know what I mean? So listen, y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole situation, yo. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, man.